You know, I never would have thought for a minute that I would end up being an author. Here I am, 67, close to 68, and on a whole new journey, one that I would never have expected. But I don't know if you all ever read the book Same Kind of Different as Me by Ron Hall and Denver Moore. But Denver was a homeless man and had a relationship that was formed with my twin sister, Deborah Hall. And unfortunately, she passed away sometime after they met. And when she died, the homeless man, Denver, said, "Mr. Ron, we've got a story to tell. Nobody's going to believe it." So they wrote their book, Same Kind of Different as Me, and then began to speak about the homeless and to help people be more aware of the homeless. When people began to find out that the Miss Debbie in that story had a twin sister, and I started getting calls, and people wanted to know the rest of the story. What I'd like to do is share with you about the first time I spoke in public. Well, Deborah and I were seniors in high school, and she loved school, she loved her teachers, and she wanted to join Future Teachers of America. Well, she said, "I want you to join with me." Well, first of all, I hated school. I hated my teachers, but I found out that we could get out of school occasionally. So I jumped at the chance and I said, I'm joining with you. The first time we left Snyder, where we were raised, and went to a school where we knew no one, the room was full of people, a lot of kids our age. All we had to do was stand up one at a time and give our name, our classification, and where we were from. You know, that shouldn't be so hard. I thought, well, I better start practicing. So I said, "My name is Daphene Short. I'm a senior from Snyder." The more I said it, the more nervous I got. Has anyone ever done that? I mean, you know, you just get yourself in a real tizzy. Well, by the time they got to us, Deborah stood up about as poised as she could be, and she said, "My name is Deborah Short. I'm a senior from Snyder." Well, by this time, I was sweating out of every hole in my body, and I got myself up to a standing position in a just about screaming voice. I said, "My name is Daphne Snort. I'm a senior from Cider," and I mispronounced every word. Well, Deborah all but twirled around. I thought she was going to get whiplash. Her eyes were like that. For years, well, and still some, we used to always call, and she'd say, "It's Daphne Snort calling." But all I have to say is thank heavens for second chances. But like history, our lives were divided up like BC before Christ and AD after Christ. The only difference is that our story had three parts. The BC was really when I was at my broken time in my life and I hit rock bottom. And I don't know if any of you have ever hit rock bottom, but it's not so easy. The middle was a conference, a healing conference that Deborah and I went to in Anaheim, California. And that's when our lives began to change, and that was February 1990. The AD was when God began to give me a second chance on life, and things changed drastically for me. Well, things began to change in my life. I met John Angelo Pizziona through eHarmony, but after we started dating, he said, "You need to make things right with your sister Gretchen." He said, "You know, we need to make this, you need to be completely whole when we marry." Instead of being angry, I immediately sat down and I wrote her a letter and I asked her to forgive me. It broke my heart. We had a year that we were able to talk on the phone, and she came a week before the wedding, and we had a wonderful time. It was like a new relationship, but unfortunately, soon after she left, I got a call soon after our wedding. Gretchen had died in her sleep from congestive heart failure. John did the funeral, and when I walked away, I had no regrets. I knew that that relationship had been restored. The southern breeze that God promised Deborah and me, it's for everybody.